What's up, podcast? Scorpion Daily. We are back with another, and I am so locked in right now. I think I'm going to be making more of these. I feel like I always say that, but it's really happening. I'm locking in. I wrote out my schedule for today. I wrote that out yesterday night because I just had so much in my brain of like all these things I need to do, right? So from getting up to taking a shower to creating content pieces, to creating a plan for one of my clients, and onboarding a new client, to having lunch, to posting content, to arriving at a venue today, just taking care of different errands, things pop up. And I just want to make sure that I have everything neatly scheduled for, what I'm going to be doing. So anyways, going to be answering some questions today, so let's just jump right into it. What's the biggest mistake new producers make when trying to create a professional sounding mix? Yeah, I think the biggest mistake they do is really just comes down to EQing. I don't think that they EQ properly, and so things kind of sound messy and muddy and jumbled, and there's a lot of clashing frequencies. So definitely that. And then the other one would be like arrangement. Don't layer too many things all together. With your percussive elements, you definitely want to stagger them so they all have their own little space.
How do you find inspiration for tracks when you're feeling like you have like writer's block or you're feeling creatively stuck?
Inspiration for me comes in a few different ways. One of the biggest ways that I get inspiration is by listening to tracks that I like, whether that be new tracks or old tracks. But I think just listening to songs that really are cool, that inspires me a whole lot.
What's your approach to layering sounds to create a rich and dynamic mix?
Again, they each got to go in their own respective place. So if I'm layering 3 sounds, one might be the sub bass, one might be the regular bass and mid bass, and then something for like a high end texture. That would be, me layering sounds. For rich and dynamics, again, you want to just stagger things out.
What are some underrated plugins or tools that every producer should check out?
Oh, this one's great. So number 1, Cymatics. Actually, I take that back. Number 1's going to be Kilohearts. They got a free bundle suite on their website. A bunch of plugins for free. Next one, Cymatics, right? They have free plugins as well. Super cool for beat makers. And then number 3 would be iZotope Trash, which has a free version on their website. And it's just a great distortion plugin for anyone doing dubstep, bass house, or any bass heavy genres.
Question: how important do you think sound design is when creating a song?
I actually don't think sound design is that important. I think that if you're using good sounds and you're able to use them properly, it's going to create something unique anyways. That's just the way I see it. So to me, sound design might be a little overrated. Yes, it can be cool to have your own sound, but at the end of the day, I think people just want to hear good music. And believe it or not, people enjoy sounds that are more familiar to them. So the more they've heard that sound, the more that they'll resonate with it right off the bat.
Can you break down the process of crafting the perfect acid synth sound?
Oh, goodness. I don't know about creating the perfect acid synth sound, but one of the ones I've been using is the Acid plugin by Arturia. Has a great emulator, really great arpeggiator mode, and I just love the way that they have that one built. It's so easy to just get up and start using.
How do you know when a track is truly finished and ready for release?
I think if you've been sitting on it for a while and you're able to listen to it through without hearing things to add or take away, then I believe it's ready for release. But for the most part, you just have to find a cutoff point where it's like, okay, this track, it's enough is enough, basically. Because if you don't have a cutoff point or even a deadline, you're just going to keep messing with the track for 20, 50 years, you know? Like, you really can just keep messing with the track. So, yeah, it's good to just cut it off at some point.
Question: what advice would you give to producers who are struggling to get their mixes to sound like professional mixes?
Yeah, guys, we gotta do better on gain staging, the levels, and EQing. Those are really, that's like 80% of it. And then the last 20% that really gets you to sound like a commercial track is the post-processing, the effects, the plugins that you're adding, the enhancers, whether that's compression or distortion or exciters. All of those can really help. Saturation can really help get the life out of the sound, you know, like really make it wow. You know, that's my biggest advice on that.
What's one piece of business advice you wish you knew when you first started out in music?
Yeah, I think it's one of the ones that I learned early on, which is don't sign any contracts. Stay independent, definitely. This is just my point of view. Stay independent and build your own audience. That way it's yours and you're not at the mercy of some label corporation that owns, you know, a hefty percentage of your masters.
How can independent artists turn streaming numbers into actual revenue?
That one's a tough one. If you're an independent artist and you got great streaming numbers, figure out where the majority of the streams are coming from, if they're coming from Los Angeles, New York, or a certain city, and do your best to play a show in that city, and make sure you let all your fans know that you're playing a live show. That way they can come out and see you. That's how I think you could turn it into actual revenue. Besides playing the shows, you can do merch as well. I think merch is really powerful, especially when you have the streaming numbers to back it up.
What are the biggest challenges in today's music industry, and how can artists overcome them?
Yeah, the biggest challenges that artists are facing is their self-confidence, their insecurities, their worries about what other people are doing, the non-ability to go through adversity in front of other people. I think artists right now are just stuck in analysis paralysis, trying to figure out the perfect way to make things happen, when in reality you just got to start doing things. So yeah, to overcome it, I mean, we all go through it in different ways, but for me, I just stopped caring about what other people had to say, and I just did my thing, and I will continue to do my thing until the end of time. So and then I think one of the other biggest things, this is like something that a lot of people don't really talk about, is having an ego, right? Having a big sense of pride for you know, who they are and what they think is below them. I think some humility can go a long way. You know, when you are humble, you're able to get more opportunities that way. You're able to take advantage and just really like live the true artist life.
What's your take on the role of social media in promoting music in 2024, going into 2025?
Social media, using it to promote your music is absolutely everything, because if you don't use it, where else are you going to go? Are you going to put an advertisement on the radio? Are you going to try to get your song on the radio? Are you going to put your song in a television commercial? I mean, how else are you going to promote your music? Whether through if it's not through social channels. So the role of it is everything. It means everything. So stop hating on it. Start using it.
How can an artist or producer build a sustainable career without relying on a record label?
I love this question so much because I resonate with it deeper in my heart. You can build a sustainable career by connecting with your fans, actually having a real connection and being able to build up a community by yourself. That is That is so much better than a record label. And that's actually what record labels want. They want artists who already have a following or a community.
What's the best way for new artists to connect with potential fans and build a community?
Show up for them. If you see someone that bought your merch, definitely reach out to them. Create a relationship. If you see people that are enjoying your music, reach out to them. It's really not that hard, guys. Just reach out, be a human. I think most artists are not connecting with their fans because they're just not talking to them. Like, they're not reaching out to them. It's really that simple.
How do you approach negotiating contracts and deals with labels or collaborators?
This one's super sticky. You know, just be upfront and honest about what you want and what you're looking to get out of it. And if they're too far off to where you guys can't even really negotiate, like you're like, oh, hey, you know, I'm at 200 and they're at 2,000, like that's really far. And yeah, you just got to stick to your guns at the end of the day. You know what's best for you and your career.
How do you maintain motivation when progress feels slow or non-existent?
This one is a really tough one because sometimes you don't maintain the motivation. Sometimes you just have to have discipline, and even when things aren't really working out, and even when you don't feel motivated or inspired, you still get up and you work on it because it's what you love and it's your passion and it's your dream, and there's nothing else that you'd rather be doing. So yeah, if you're really about that life, if you're like, I guess if we call it a purebred artist, you know, somebody who was born to be an artist, they're just going to do it no matter what.
What's your advice for artists who struggle with imposter syndrome?
Yeah, this one messed me up for a while, guys. I used to not think I was worthy enough to play shows or make music. Yeah, if you're dealing with imposter syndrome right now, I have deep empathy for you. You know, I went through that as well. So I guess it's just getting over that hurdle. And tell you what, if you just start to look at it as, hey, you know what, it's not that big of a deal anyways. Who cares what they think, and who cares if I suck? Like, I'm going to suck in the beginning. Like, just understand that you're going through your own process. Like, you don't have to be this perfect superstar right off the bat, you know? Allow yourself to be a crappy artist. Like, I don't know why people, you know, they can't see that. But once I realized it, and I realized that it's okay to be a crappy artist in front of other people, well then, yeah, that's really what helped me get over it.
Can you share a time when you faced a major setback in your career and how you bounced back?
Yeah, I guess it was a major setback when I switched over and just became all about business. I completely punted music and I didn't do any music. I bounced back by realizing that it was my true passion, and that, hey, anytime that I lost, I gained other skills. So it wasn't really time lost. It was more just like, you know, character development, call it lore, if you will. So that's how I bounced back. By not judging myself over the setback is how I bounced back.
What's the role of curiosity in staying ahead in the music industry?
I just posted this one on Instagram. The role of curiosity plays a very, very important factor for all of us. You have to stay curious to find the new trends. If you want to be a trendsetter, you definitely have to stay curious of what's happening and what's going on. You know, what are the newer genres? What are the newer sounds? What are people starting to like? That kind of thing.
How can an artist avoid burnout while staying productive?
Yeah, just don't take it too seriously. You know, have fun with it. It's supposed to be fun. And if you're not having fun, well, then that's a problem, right? And that's how you burn out. I can stay super productive all day long because I love what I do. And I'm having fun. So, yeah, put fun as the priority. And you're also going to stay productive at the same time. I believe that is how to avoid burnout, at least for me.
What's the biggest lessons you've learned from mentoring other producers?
Yeah, from mentoring other producers, I was actually able to learn about the fundamentals a whole lot more. You know, we tend to brush over the beginner lessons because we don't want to be a beginner anymore. So we're like, yeah, whatever, right? But by going through and rehashing, I had to teach those beginner lessons over and over and over again. So you best believe that I got pretty darn good at it. And not just teaching, but like actually at the fundamentals, the beginning stages. And the other biggest lesson too, like if you want to become a mentor, you have to learn how to keep things fun and exciting while also educating and doing things the right way.
What's one habit or mindset shift that's been a game changer for your success?
Oof, I got to go back to this humility thing because that one really changed my whole game. Yeah, I'm just gonna outwork people because I'm more humble. I'm gonna get more opportunities because I'm more humble. I'm gonna have a much longer career because I'm more humble. Like, it really just goes back to that. I really don't think I'm anybody. I don't think that I've actually done anything significant, really. Like, I don't know what else to say. I really don't value it as much, and I definitely don't get validation from like people telling me how great I'm doing or that I'm the best, right? So that was a game changer.
Where do you see the music industry heading in the next 5 years?
The music industry is going to go down this path of AI technology. We're going to see AI singers. We're going to see AI producers. We are going to see just a whole bunch of AI robots. And I think we're going to see a whole lot of creation, a whole lot of saturation in the market. The barrier of entry to get into the music business is going to be a whole lot lower. But I don't really know what that fully entails just yet. More artists for sure. We're going to see a wave, like a surge of new artists coming out. But besides that, yeah, I really don't know. It's tough. It's tough to see what's going to happen in the next 5 years. Like, AI is really going to accelerate the growth so fast. I can't even believe the technology that we have that's out today. And I'm not just talking about AI. Like, there's other crazy brain neuron technology that's, you know, introducing some form of electromagnetic telepathy. Like, it is insane. We're living through some really, really interesting times.
What emerging trends in music production should producers be paying attention to?
Emerging trends right now, I'm not really spotting the trends. I know like UK Garage is getting some attention, but yeah, if you really want to see like what's going to pop and be hot next, take a look at music in other countries. What are other countries vibing to? Europe's a great place to look at. So is Australia and Asia and South America. There's a lot of places to look at. So just look around and see what's hot and what might come to the US next.
How do you see AI and new tech influencing the music industry?
Yeah, I just touched on this. It's going to allow people to create music much faster, much easier, at a higher quality. And I believe that, you know, people who know how to use it properly are going to get the most out of it. So it's definitely going to be a game changer.
What role will physical spaces like your sound gym play in a world dominated by digital content?
Yeah, I think music studios are going to be like a hub for creators to come together and really work in a more human way. One of the things that I don't see happening often is music producers and artists working together side by side. I see there's a lot of digital collaboration. So this would be like you collaborating with somebody who's all the way across the world.
Do you think NFTs and blockchain will have a lasting impact on how artists distribute their music?
Most definitely. I mean, if a lot of artists are already going independent, they're just going to use every resource they can to own 100% of their royalties and their music. You know, why are they going to give up a percentage for distribution, right? So yeah, I think it is going to be a big game changer. Okay, well, that's all that I have today. I appreciate you guys for showing up. Really didn't know where it was going to go, but today it just went somewhere absolutely amazing. I love everything that we talked about today. And let's stay connected. You guys have a good one. Peace.